Hey to all you beautiful people. How is it going tonight? Listen, I'm excited to be on live with you guys. For some of you who know, I took a social media hiatus. And so the only place you're gonna find me right now is YouTube. And so thank you so much for being a part. For those of you who don't subscribe to the channel because this is where I'll be doing most of the speak lives or any lives or videos that I upload is going to be to the YouTube channel. So God bless you guys and welcome back. Tonight we have an amazing show. And to all of my people that's up here, God bless you guys. So thank you so much for being a part tonight. I'm really excited about this young lady that's going to be sharing tonight. It's gonna be really good. It's gonna be really liberating. And so thank you for those of you who are live. So listen, type in the comments where you tuning in to us from, and if you are a mother, like Mother's Day was just Sunday, and so happy Mother's Day to all of you beautiful mothers who celebrated Mother's Day. I realized that Mother's Day can be tricky like all holidays because some moms have lost their moms, some moms have lost children, some adults don't really have a good relationship with their mothers. Some mothers don't have a good relationship with their children. So, a lot of holidays are not always something that people want to celebrate, but we do want to say, I definitely want to say happy Mother's Day to all of you beautiful women and mothers out there. God bless you. So I think this is going to be a really good show tonight because we have a woman, a mother, an untroubled mama, right? That's going to speak life to us. And so again, thank you guys for tuning in. For those of you who are here right now, and then those of you that's going to catch the replay, God bless you guys. Share this out with your friends. You can share it to your social media pages. Perhaps I'll be back by 2023. I told another a sister that other. She's like, "You taking a long break?" I was like, "Yeah." So definitely share it out with your friends, your followers, because I think it's going to be a blessing tonight. I know I'm always a recipient of a blessing of Speak Life. And for those of you out there who have a message to share, listen, come on, Speak Life with me. I want to be able to provide the opportunity where you can come on and share your story, whatever that is. It could be a mother, a father, a artist, a singer, whatever it is you do, a prayer warrior, a business owner, or you just an individual that just want to share your story. We definitely want to have you on Speak Life. I want to say thank you to all of you guys who tuned in this morning at 10 a.m. when I was on the Stellar Award winning radio show, All Nations radio show with Bishop Samuel McGill. It was really truly a blessing to be up there. And I was telling one of my little sister, I said, India, I tried to get on his show like 4 years ago. And to no avail, it didn't happen, but God made sure it happened at this right time. And I was trying to get on his show because of books, but then I happened to get up there because of the press single. And for the bulk of the time, we talked about my books and what I do in education. And so it was a really good show. So if you did not catch it, catch the replay. If you don't have Exalted, go download it because I'm telling you, it's going to bless your life. I listen to it so I can be blessed by it over and over again. And so, yeah, so I want to go ahead and get stuck. Well, we already started. Right? When people said get started, it's like I wasn't talking. So please feel free to share in the comments. Let us know, anything that our guest JeTrice may say that resonates with you. Please let us know. Like, we want to have some feedback, some comments, some amens in the virtual church house, because we know church ain't necessarily a building, it's the people in it. And so I'm excited. I said I would stop saying excited and just use different words like thrilled, because people always say I'm excited. But I want to get into who Miss JeTrice Simmons is and what Untroubled Mama stands for, because this is going to really be a powerful night. And so if you see the banner here, let me put this back up. Miss JeTrice Simmons, she's a professional woman. She's very professional in what she does. She's considered resilient, spiritual, empathetic, honest, and fearless. And once you hear her story, it's like, wow, she's definitely fearless for real. And so Untroubled Mama, when we first had a conversation, she was telling me about, her vision for Untroubled Mama. I was like, wow. And so Untroubled Mama is a catalyst for hope for mothers, to remind them that they are capable of overcoming anything that life throws at them at any given moment. And because I'm not a natural mother, there are certain things that I don't understand, but I understand how life can throw some things at you. And so to become resilient and to be able to overcome those things, it takes the strength of God to help a mother. And mothers, you guys are so special. You're so loving. It's nothing like a mother's love. It's nothing like a mother's love. And so thank you all for being such amazing mothers. So with no further delay, no further talking or comments, we gonna bring out. Let me get my drum roll, please. Let me get my guys. Can y'all type drum roll in the thing? Let me get my drum roll out real quick, JeTrice. I think we need a drum roll for you because this gonna be good. Or maybe just a horn or a sound or something. And so let me see. Let me see if I can get it. Clap, claps, applaud. All right, here we go. So we bring it to the virtual stage, Miss JeTrice Simmons.
Hey, how are you?
I am well. How are you doing?
I'm blessed and highly favored. I have no complaints. I mean, I could complain, but there's no point.
I love it. Like, she blessed and highly favored.
And highly favored.
She's highly favored. And so
Exactly.
I'm excited tonight. Thank you for saying yes to be a guest with me, because I know sometimes it's not always easy to share your story, especially when you're doing it live in public. You never know where it's gonna go. You never know who's gonna listen. You never know, who hands is gonna get into. And so thank you for taking that courageous step to say, listen, we're gonna do that. And of course, you're at liberty to share as much or as less as you are comfortable sharing. So that's anything that I ask or we talk about that you like, we can always divert and go to something else. I'm okay with that.
Okay. I did just have someone Seminator text me and say they don't know how to comment. So I don't know if the comments are closed or.
Okay, let's see. Let's see.
If you don't see any comments, I think people were trying, but
okay, let me see. I don't know what's going on here. Why y'all can't comment? Because we want you to comment for sure. Let me go in here, guys. Oh, okay. So my friend said it's closed because I have it set for children, but this ain't for children. This is for adults. All right, guys, listen. What I'm gonna do real quick, I'm gonna put a little quick video up here, JeTrice, while I go and get this going. So guys, this is like 2 minutes of my prayer single while I go and fix these settings really quick, because we want to make sure that you guys can comment and engage with us tonight. So check this out real quick. Father, I thank you that you are the Father, you are the God, the Most High God. Listen to my prayers. You listen to the prayers of the destitute. You listen to the people, and you don't reject our pleas in the name of Jesus. You're the God who bends your ear down low to hear our prayers, and I exalt you today, oh God. You said you exalt your word above your name. Father, we give your word back to you today. Psalms 103:2-6 declares, bless the Lord, oh my soul, and forget not all of his benefits. Father, I bless your name today. I will not forget your benefits. Father, I thank you. You're the benefit of forgiving my iniquity. Father, I thank you. The benefit is that you heal our disease. Father, I thank you for the benefit that you redeem my life from destruction. Father, I thank you, oh God, that I will never forget your benefits. Father, I thank you. You're the one who crowned us with loving kindness. I thank you that you're the one who is tender with your mercy. I thank you, oh God, that we woke up today in new mercy. Thank you for your new mercy. Thank you for your new mercy that are new every day. Thank you for your new mercy. Thank you, oh God, that you're the one that sanctify us, that you're the one who satisfy our mouths with good things. Oh God, I thank you that our youth is renewed like the eagle today. Father, I thank you that the joy of the Lord is our strength. I thank you, oh Father, that we laid down last night and we woke up in peace. Hallelujah. We woke up in joy. I thank you that at the nighttime, oh God, you instruct our mind. Oh God, I thank you that we think on things that's lovely and pure and holy. In the name of Jesus, Father, I thank you. You are the Lord who executes righteousness. I thank you
merciful God. Father, I thank you. You're the God who's slow to get angry, and I thank you for being the same God who is long suffering. Father, I thank you for suffering long with me. Father, I thank you for suffering long with me. Father, thank you for suffering long with me. Father, I thank you that you don't even give our sins what they deserve. Father, I thank you for another chance today. You are faithful God. You are loving God. You are mighty God. Oh God, I thank you that your throne is in heaven. Blessings and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving. Father, I thank you that honor and power and might be unto you today.
Amen. So I tried to fix it. Just you tell me it's working for you. Like my friend said,
Yeah. Yeah, I've had a few people text me and say it wasn't working. So it's okay.
guys, I'm sorry. I don't know what. Well, my friend told me what I hit. I don't know. I went and changed the settings. I don't know if it update while I'm actually on live with you guys, but we are very, very sorry. So listen, tune in. If you can't post the comments here, send your if you know JeTrice, send her some comments, and I'm gonna definitely fix this. So whatever else you guys want to share, we'll be able to share that. So thank you for letting me know, because I didn't know, and thank you. Shout out to Billy for letting me know, because I'm like, yo, where y'all tuning in from? So my bad on that. So JeTrice, we're gonna go ahead and get right into like just who JeTrice is, because I'm still getting to know and learning who you are. And for those of you who may not know her, want to know who is JeTrice Simmons? Not the mom, because we know you do Untroubled Mama, but
Mhm.
who is the woman JeTrice Simmons?
You know, Simone, honestly, it has taken me a really, really long time to identify who I am outside of a mom, right? Like it's taken me a really long time to figure that out. I poured so much into my children that I think I've lost my identity. But I just did an exercise at work today, this morning on a call, and we talked about some of our characteristics, and what they said about me truly spoke to me because that's how I see myself. So if I had to describe myself, I'd say I am a warrior, I am resilient, I am creative, I am a leader, and I'm a go-getter, right? Like I am going to go after any and everything that I feel like I deserve. Anything that God has put on me to pursue, I'm going to do just that. I've realized that it may not always be easy, but that's the warrior in me, right? Like I'm going to just keep on fighting until I get to what it is that I'm called to do. So, um, but my greatest title is mommy. That is my greatest title.
I love it. So do you think that when you become a mom, that there's a part of you that becomes selfless, so that you can put all of your energy into being a mother?
I do, right? But I don't think that that's healthy. I'm gonna be honest, right? I think that that's what we do as moms. I know for me personally, and so many of my mom friends that are on the phone, I watch us, just pour so much into our children. And the reality is that's not healthy. Like we think that we're doing our children, some good, but we're not. We're actually doing them a grave disservice, and we're doing ourselves a great disservice because you can't pour from an empty cup, right? So for me, one of the things that I want to do with Untroubled Mama is to really remind women, to remind mothers that don't pour so much into your significant other, don't pour so much into your children to the point that you have nothing left for yourself. And I'm coming from a place of I've been there, done that, right? Like I poured so much into other people, my kids included, that when it was time for me to show up for myself, I was completely lost. I didn't even know how to do that because I was so focused on being a mom. And I feel like the best way that you can mother your children is to first take care of you, right? You know what I mean? Like I have to take care of myself first. So selfless is good, but sometimes it's not, So I just want to throw that out there.
That's good, yo. And I've heard moms say that, but then so many of them won't even articulate that, because
Mhm.
it's feeling like, well, if I say that, am I gonna be a bad mom? And so
Exactly.
I
Yes.
love that you said that. Like that's real. And I've seen a lot of moms who
Mhm.
outside of their children, they legit, it's like there's no conversation. There is like, and it's like, man, so it's like, wow, that's really, really good. And one thing you said about being resilient, you like a go getter, like you're gonna go and whatever you need to do, you're gonna do it until you make it happen. Is that just innately who you've always been, or is that something you've had to develop over time?
That's definitely who I am. I mean, you know my mom, so you know that's etched in me. Like
Yeah.
it's how I was raised. It's what she's instilled in me. Growing up with her as a single mom, I've seen her struggle. I've seen just the good and the bad of being a mom, and I saw her just put forth her best effort to make sure that I had everything that I needed. And so that's just all. When that's all you've seen, that's all you know. And so it's just in me. I'm like that at work. I'm like that with my friends. Um, I'm like that in relationships to a detriment of my own, but it's okay. That's another
Yeah,
day.
we get to that question. Yeah, this like slides right into the second question about your
Mhm.
mom. And I knew your mom before I knew you. So
Yes.
how has your mom shaped you into the woman that you are today, in addition to what you maybe have already just said?
So because I really try to be transparent. I think that's the only way that I can reach an audience. And I want to say to people that what people do not understand or know about me and my mom is that early on, my relationship with her was very, very tumultuous. It was very unhealthy. I lived a lifestyle that my mom just did not approve of, and it impacted her ability to show up for me as a mom, right? And we just bumped heads. So honestly, it wasn't until I got a little bit older, I worked on my relationship with God. I ultimately, worked on my relationship with my mom, that I was able to see just how much of a value add she's been to me. Because earlier on in my life, I was like, girl, you're getting on my nerves. Like
Right.
you're just not doing what I need you to do. This is not how moms show up for their kids. Like I was very mad with her.
Mhm.
But I just had to really shift my energy and just shift my thought process and change my perspective on her, because she's not a bad person at all. And so honestly, how she's raised me to be independent, to be resilient, to be a go-getter, that's ultimately shaped who I am as a person, as a mom, as a professional, and as a friend. But the flip side to that is that how she raised me too, the bad side of that
Mhm.
has shaped me into what I don't want to be for my children. So my mom is very stern. Everybody, you know it. Everyone on this call that knows Mama Michelle, she don't play, right?
Mhm.
So I grew up with that. And I realized that I don't want to be that mom. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to be the mom that yells at her children. I don't want to be the mother that's not supportive.
Mhm.
My mother's very supportive now, but we haven't always had that relationship.
Mhm.
But I think if I didn't go through that with my mom, I wouldn't know how to show up for my own children,
Yeah.
right? I think it's easy to say we don't want to be our parents, but oftentimes we end up doing just that because it's something you have to work towards. And I've just made it my business to work so that I can show up differently for my children than how my mom showed up for me. Yeah.
Man, I want to throw this phone for so many reasons, because I cannot get these comments to work, and this is so freaking good. And the
And
fact
people are commenting, they texting me. So if you see me, someone said amen to that, can't give what you don't have, and then they text and said facts.
like this is so good, Patrice. And one way you can really tell that people are healed of their relationships. So when you can talk about what you just said freely, and I know your mom is there because I just talked to her before we came
Right,
on the
she's
show.
right here on the outside of the door. I'm getting y'all.
The fact that you can say that, and it's not gonna be no beef or no trouble
Mhm.
or nothing, like, because you could tell y'all worked on that, and it's so freeing to
Right, yes.
have a mother and a daughter, or a daughter to say, well, this is what happened with me and my mom, but we
Mhm,
got over that. A lot of children go through that, a lot of moms go through that,
mhm,
but shame and guilt, it's like, well, I ain't gonna really tell that, but it's so
mhm.
helpful and so needed, man. So
It is.
thank you. And Miss Michelle, thank you for being a little stern. We need that sometimes. So thank
She
you,
said,
thank you.
and she's hearing me. Mama, don't text me from out there. Don't text me.
That is so funny.
But
Miss
I
Michelle,
think that's how I don't want to be this person. Like I'm very authentic, right? Like that's one of the things that I pride myself on is being
mhm,
authentic.
yeah,
I tell you, you going real uncut, straight no chaser. Like that's the person that I am. And I can't be that if I'm lying or only telling bits of the truth. Like, and it really, I struggle with it because everyone doesn't see my mom that way. They see her as, this spiritual person that, everyone calls her mom, everyone loves her, but not everyone knows that my relationship with her hasn't always been that great, right? They see the way that it is now, not realizing how many hurdles we had to, overcome to even get to this point. But if I can be honest and transparent, and that hopefully can help another mom daughter duo, then I've done my job, right? So
absolutely, like that blessed me, man. Like that blessed me. Like, oh yeah, wow, that is so good. So going back to just growing up with your mom, how have any experiences as a girl, a teen, or now shaped you into who you are, and and maybe what's made you so resilient and one of those ones to say, listen, I'm not giving up. I'm gonna keep at this until I get the desired goal that I have.
Honestly, I think it's my relationship with my mom. I'll go back to that. Like that for me, I am because I didn't have a relationship with my dad. I'm a mommy's girl, right? Like that's my best friend. Like my best adult friend. Like my mama friend. Like,
my best adult.
My BFF is on here. My sisters are on here, so it doesn't negate my relationship with them, but when I really need a prayer warrior, when I need someone that's going to be right there and give me sound advice and that's going to pray over me, and that's my mama, right? Like, so that experience for me has shaped me into the mom that I am today, because it really hurt me when we weren't close. People see the relationship that she has with Journey, but what people don't know is that my mother was not there for my entire pregnancy. My mother was not there when I had my first child. Like that's all I really wanted, was for her to, to be there for me. Wow. And that wasn't the case, right? And so I realized that as a woman, I need my mother, and I always want to be there for my daughter. So I think for me as a girl, as a teen, not having the relationship with my mother has ultimately shaped how I show up as a woman today, because we need support, right? Like we really need our mothers. And so that's why I'm always there, constantly telling Journey I love her, constantly sewing into her. When Journey said, hey, mommy, I want to write a book, I said, you know what? We're going to do it. Like I want to show up for my children, and just so that they always know that mommy is going to be here, because I didn't really get that growing up, right? Like I have it now, but I didn't get it then. And so that's just really important for me, and has helped shape me into the mother that I am today.
JeTrice, you dropping some.
Somebody just sent me an emoji crying. Like, I'm gonna hold back the tears, y'all. So you can't do that.
Like that touched a place in me, man. Like me and you, we share a similar story, except I don't have children, and it's like, last night I was on the All Things New, the ministry that I met your mom with, and people sharing their stories, and then that we had parents to come and share, and the way those parents shared like their pain and disappointment, not because of what their child was doing per se, but it's like sometimes when we get in scenes, it's not just sexual scenes. It could be drug, it could be anything, right? But anything that puts a strain on the relationship, just hearing those parents' pain, it made me appreciate my mom more. And I realized how much I need, just like you said, how much I needed her during those moments where we were like clashing and I wasn't coming around because I knew that she didn't approve. So I just kind of lived my life the way I wanted to live my life. But inside, I needed that. So when you said, it's like, yo, that's good. Real. And with my oldest brother is the only one that has children. So my mom is a grandmother, and like I see her how she's with my great niece, and I'm looking like with my nieces and my great niece. It's like, well, man, like it's a little different from when I was growing up. Like, what happened? Like,
not the same person.
Like, what's up with that? So I don't know, Miss Michelle. You can give us some insight later on what grandmas be thinking that they don't happen with the children. Because I'm like, yo, I could have never let that stuff.
Oh
That
no.
stuff wasn't flying with me. But with grandkids, it's
Israel's out there right now. He screamed and hollered y'all for 30 minutes, maybe longer than that.
Mhm.
He's out there right now listening to the interview, sitting on his grandmother's lap. And if that was me, she'd have beat my butt and I'd have went to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Grandma Michelle, why are you doing that? Tell us, like, we want to know the hidden insight.
And don't come in here, Mama. Don't come. No,
she said, "Let me come on here."
It's not her time. But someone texted and said, you know, she doesn't have her mom, so she completely understands where I'm coming from.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. JeTrice, I really think that we're gonna have to do a part 2 to this. I really do. And,
okay, I'll be over my nerves then, so I'll be better.
You're doing so well, like. And when we do a part 2, these comments definitely gonna be on. So again, guys, I apologize for the comments, like, but this is good. And so again, please let JeTrice know how this has blessed you. If you're connected to me, you can send me your comments, message, or email, and I will make sure I get it to her. And I'm definitely gonna go back when this is over and configure the settings. And so you may be able to put comments in here after it's, you know, we're no longer live, but I'm definitely going to fix that. So again, guys, thank you for rocking with us tonight, because this is bomb. So now, of course, this next question is kind of like maybe a no-brainer, but not really. Is there any challenges you have, you know, experienced as being a mom? And then so how did you, you know, work through them?
So it's funny because my ex is listening to this too, right? And so that's one of the challenges that I've had. I've had two, the double D's is what I'll call them. I've had divorce and I've had domestic violence. So those are the two challenges that I've experienced while, you know, being a mom. So when my ex and I had Journey, the divorce, even though I was the one that wanted it, it still hurt me because I honestly felt like a failure, right? I didn't grow up in a 2-parent household. And so what I wanted for Journey was to grow up in a 2-parent household. I would have never had her if I would have known that it would have led to divorce. And so that was very challenging for me. And I realized that the way that I needed to overcome that was multifaceted. One of the ways was I needed to give myself the grace and I needed to forgive myself for my role in the divorce, right? I think it's easy to point the finger and say, oh, you did this, you did this, you did that. But we all, in some way, shape, or form, play a part in where we are in life. So I needed to be one with myself and be accountable for my part in it. And that's the difficult thing to do. I then needed to forgive her for what she had done to me, right? Like I needed to get to that point because when we were at odds with each other, that made the divorce 10 times worse. Divorce doesn't have to be challenging. Co-parenting doesn't have to be challenging. We make it that way because we can't forgive each other, right? And so I needed to forgive myself and forgive her. And the last thing I say is I needed to focus on what was important. It wasn't me. It wasn't her. It was our daughter. And so when I removed the outside influences and really honed in on focusing on my daughter, that's when I was able to really overcome the divorce. Wow. Someone said I'm speaking facts. Thank you. They can relate. They went through a divorce too, so they can relate. But that's true. I had to focus on Journey. It was not about, it was not about my ex. And today our relationship is phenomenal now, so it took us some time to get there. Now, the domestic violence, that takes a little bit longer to work through. And this is where you'll probably see me get emotional. And I don't have no tissue in my box. Oh my gosh.
Your mama right there. She
gonna Mama, bring me some tissue, Mama. I, again, felt like a failure. I felt like, why me? You love a person and you think that person loves you until they beating the crap out of you or they, threatening you or damaging your property. And you realize, wow, this is not what I thought it was. Someone just said, just breathe.
Yeah.
And when you're experiencing domestic violence, that's one component. But when you still have to show up for your children while going through domestic violence, it just hits very different. I don't wish that on anybody because I still had to show up for my children, right? Like I still had to be a mother on days when I didn't feel like getting out of bed, on days when I was even scared to take them to school. I still had to. Like I didn't have a choice but to just show up for my children. And the only way that I can say I overcame that is through prayer. Honestly, I had to learn to love myself enough to not care about what he thought about me or what anybody else thought about me. I needed to protect my children and protect myself. And the only way that I knew to do that was to go back to what my mama had taught me, and that was to pray. Like that was it. And that's how I overcame that situation. And the reality is I still haven't completely overcame it like I have the divorce. It's a work in progress, right? Like I think I will always hold a part of that trauma with me, but every day it gets a little bit better. Even speaking about it now, I don't know that he's not watching, so it's a scary thing. Thank you. Just a little bit of tissue. Thanks, Mama.
Thanks, love. Oh,
Uh, I'm sorry, y'all.
oh my.
So that for me is, yeah, it was just a lot. But I'm working through it. My children are my reason. And I refuse to let the enemy win. I just do, So, whew, Lord have mercy. Oh, man, people said I'm making them cry. Like, y'all got to hold on. And I don't want to. It's just people. I just try to always be so strong, right? Like, because I have to. My children are watching me. I can't, cry in front of my kids. Like I'm always in mommy mode.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when you're in mommy mode, you don't have time for yourself. Like I can't relinquish how I'm feeling. These emotions just can't come out because Journey needs help with her homework. Mm-hmm. I got to sit down and do Journey's hair. Mm-hmm. Israel has a baseball game. Journey has to get to gymnastics. Journey has a book signing. Messiah is being a mommy stalker. I can't even put him down. So I just can't, like and that's tough.
Yeah. Oh my.
Someone just said, and I have a great support system, and that is absolutely correct. To my friends that have joined, and it is late. We be in the bed by this time. Someone lives in California. She's behind us. Yeah. Listen, my friends and I, we be in the bed. So the fact that we're up and they're up supporting me like that, that is my village of people that I know are riding for me. And that's how they make it easier for me to overcome it because I know that I'm not alone. And I feel like sometimes in a domestic violence situation, you feel so alone and so isolated. Like you feel like there's nobody on earth that understands what you're going through, that you don't have a support system. Because guess what? That's what that's what he's told you. Ain't nobody gonna love you. Don't know, ain't nobody gonna be there for you. I'm the only person that's gonna be there for you. That's what they, drill in your head. Yeah. So that's what you start to believe. But my village, my support system, my sisters, they have all shown up. My BFF, my goddaughter's mother, Journey's best friend's mama, like everyone has shown up. And I am beyond grateful, to those ladies for always being there to support me and love me, despite all the stuff I have going on.
Like, first of all, I'm sorry about, I don't think I knew about the domestic violence part. I experienced a bit of that when I was in a relationship with a female, and I mean that was terrible. So I'm so sorry that you had to experience it. And then on top of that, like for me being a single person, whenever I'm going through anything, I can just shut down because I really don't have another person, a person that I got to take care of. Right. And so I know it could be challenging because now I have another person that's looking up to me, and then you have 3 babies, and it's like you got to give all of them something. So it's like, wow, hats off to you. Like I believe there's just a extra strength that God gives mothers, man. Like y'all are able to navigate and just be like superwoman real, and it's like,
because you don't have a choice. And honestly, there are mothers who don't do that well, right? And I'll be honest, I was that person. I have not always been an untroubled mama. I will be very honest with you. There are times when I've allowed what I've gone through in my life, specifically the domestic violence, I've allowed it to cross over into my parenting. I was so stressed out dealing with that situation. I didn't have the energy or the patience really to deal with Journey and her foolishness and her personality. It was too strong. Mama ain't feel like dealing with it. So I was, my tone was just very abrasive and sharp. I'm like, go fix yourself something to eat. I don't even have the energy to get up and cook. Like I don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized that that wasn't fair to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I just made literally one day I just woke up and I realized how I was coming across to my kids. And sorry, mama, I realized I was being like my mama. Like I said, and I remember how that made me feel growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I said, sis, you got to get it together. Like you have, because my children didn't ask to come into this world. I made a conscious decision
Mm-hmm.
to have children, and it is not their fault that I'm going through things.
Yeah.
So I said to myself that I aspire to be untroubled, and I aspire to remain that way despite any challenges that I may go through. And from that moment on, it really hasn't affected the way that I show up for my children. Right? Like I've still going through things. I was just called to BITCH a couple days ago. I still show up for my children.
Mm-hmm.
I still do what I need to do because they're looking up to me and they are what matter. And
Wow.
I'm not gonna give in. Excuse
Wow.
me.
So whoever said she a BITCH, you better watch it. You don't know who you talking to. That's a untroubled mama here. You better watch that. So she said, was there any other part? I know you shared a lot. So before we get into transition into the untroubled mama, is there anything else that you wanted to share about any part of your story, any part of your journey, anything else? Please feel free to share.
Sorry, I'm looking at these comments.
I know, like, I don't even know how
No, it's okay.
set up.
It's fine. I just want to say to people, like, I think another part of my story is just not being a good person, right? Like because of all the things that I've gone through, in my life, and I became bitter and just angry. I felt like the world owed me something, and I was just nasty. I mean, there was no other way to describe it. Like I just was nasty because I felt like I had just gone through so much, right? And I was, I isolated myself from my friends. I would be snapping at my friends. They ain't did nothing. I just, but I couldn't project how I was feeling on the person who was causing me the hurt and harm. And so I projected it elsewhere. And I am grateful that my friends have stood by me, because there were moments, when I just was not a good friend to them. Oh God, here we go again.
It's okay.
Dang it.
Okay.
And I really value all of my friends, like every last one of them. I truly do value. And I realized that when I was going through something, I just wasn't a pleasant person. I didn't show up for my friends the way that I should have. And so one of my friends said I couldn't get away. And that's the thing. They continue to hound me. They sent messages to my mom. They sent me messages on OfferUp. OfferUp. My BFF is always like, I'm right there, whatever you need. I know you're going through something, but I'm right there. Like, and I just really have to say that I would not be who I am today without the women that are in my life. Like I wouldn't. And so I encourage every mother to get yourself a support system, right? Like you desperately need a support system, because you can't do this by yourself. Like there are moments when I just want to give up. There are moments when I've had to flee from my house in the wee hours of the morning, and my girls were right there, to help me. My best friend was right there when I moved into the new apartment to help me unpack. My other friends were there on the other end helping me pack. Like and then even recently, the kids have been sick, right? And so it's been a lot. Journey still has to get to school. I still have to pick her up from school. And if it wasn't for, my friend, I'd have to take the kids out when they're sick, pick her up from school. And that would have just been an additional layer of stress for me. So I'm beyond grateful to my support system. Like I feel like I'm indebted to them for life. Like for real.
Wow.
And to my mother, because she's there for me more than my friends are. Like she is really a support system. So I'm thankful for what we've gone through in our life, because I honestly feel like had we not gone through that rough patch,
Mhm.
we wouldn't be where we are today. Right. Like I really feel that way. I'm honestly glad that I went through a divorce. I'm glad, and I know this is a really probably a warped way to think, but I'm glad that I went through the domestic violence, because without that situation, I wouldn't have been pushed to have a greater relationship with God. Like I've always been a spiritual person, right? My mother raised me in church,
Mhm.
but I kind of drifted away when I, lived that homosexual lifestyle. But dealing with the domestic violence, I had no choice but to get on my knees and cry and beg and plead for God to remove me from this situation. Like if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here today. So I feel like my story is one that I needed to get to this place of untroubledness. Like it is what I needed to form that relationship that I have right now with God. Like that is my go-to. I don't make a decision, I don't make a move, I don't do anything without first talking to God. Before, I was just doing what I wanted to do, and look at how that turned out.
Yeah.
So it didn't work out too well. Maybe if I'd have asked him about that relationship, he'd have been like, no, don't do that.
Oh my god, it's so, oh gosh. We definitely gotta do a part two, and shout out to all you moms who this is past your bedtime, but you rock with us. So JeTrice, the next time we come, you have to tell me a earlier time that we
Okay.
can do it where, because I'm as a single person, right? I'm thinking as a single person, you gotta put you have to put children to bed,
Yeah,
so
I tried to put him in a bed. My mother said I have a phenomenal village of sister friends. That is so true. And in fact, when someone else said facts, she co-parents.
wow.
I
Man,
do.
like hats off to you. And like, so guys, when you hear somebody's story or even part of the story, it it gives you a better understanding of now what they're trying to do. And so when we talk about Untroubled Mama, like, where did that come from? And then what is your desire for Untroubled Mama for yourself and for other mothers or mothers to be? Because I'm listening to you now, and it's like
Mhm,
I'm not a mom right now, but I'm gonna be a mom. So it's like
mhm,
all of these things I take and say, okay, I don't lose yourself when you become a mom or a wife. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you got a good
mhm.
support system. Don't hide away when you're going off. Don't displace your anger on the wrong people. So
Mhm,
I'm listening and I'm taking this stuff in. So where did Untroubled Mama come from? And then what is
mhm.
your desire for it?
So Untroubled Mama came from, like I said, I haven't always been this person. I was stressed out, to say the least. And people at my job, my friends, some would always say, like, how do you do it? Like I think it really hit people when I did Journey's book. So people don't in the middle of doing Journey's, helping her with that book. I was literally in the trenches. I was in the domestic violence situation, getting a restraining order. It just was a lot going on, and I still got Journey's book done. And people are like, "How did you do that?" And I said, I remained untroubled, right? Like I determined I can't say what's going to happen to me in my life, right? I have no control over that, but I
Mhm.
do have control over how I let it affect me and how I let it affect me, my children,
Mhm.
how I let it affect me with my friends, how I let it affect me as a professional, and that for me was just my word. That was my go-to. That's my mantra. I am untroubled. And I wanted that for all other mothers in the world, because sometimes we think being a mother is like a death sentence, and it doesn't have to be. I'm not here to tell you it's not going to be challenging, because my kids try me on a regular, right? Like it is difficult, and it is more difficult when you are a single parent,
Mhm.
but it's not impossible. And so I wanted to remind people that I've been in a domestic violence situation. I've gone through a divorce. I have been molested at a young age. Like my brother has died, and I just felt like the world was just coming to an end, right?
Mhm.
But it's not. I am here. I'm still standing. Like Monica said, I'm still standing.
Yeah.
What was probably sent to destroy me didn't. And I want that for every other mother on this earth. Like I really do. I feel like if we, band together and we, claim that we're going to be untroubled mamas, it's nothing that we can't do. Right. So these damaged men that come into our lives, you can't get to me, bro, because I'm untroubled. You can't even get close to me. Anything that's sent to destroy my peace and disrupt my peace, to shake it, you can't. You can't do that to me because I am untroubled. When we're troubled, we allow, this is a Christian platform, so I'm gonna watch my mouth, Simone. We allow BS to come into our life, right? Like, because we're troubled. We don't love ourselves. And so we allow fragments of what people give us because we aren't whole. I want for every mother to be whole and to just show up. That's really what Untroubled Mama is about. Oh, my phone is going off. Uh-oh.
Girl, because you dropping it. You hear me? You dropping it.
Like I that's just what I want. I want it to be a village. Like, I have a village of friends. I want this village of friends that I have. I want it to expand, right? Like, I want, because all of my friends are untroubled mamas.
Yeah.
And we all have something going on in our life, and we still show up for our kids day in and day out. We cry in the shower. We probably cry after we drop our kids off in the car line. Like, it's a lot for us, but we're doing it. And I know there's someone out there today saying, "Oh my God, I can't make it. I can't do this anymore. How am I gonna get through? This can't be my life." And I'm there to remind them, it's not your life. Like, turn it over to God, pray, get yourself a support system. I will be that for you. I will be a mentor, a sister, friend. I will do all of that because I've been there before. And I remember feeling so broken and alone and just needing to lean on my friends. And so for me, that's what Untroubled Mama is all about. And to answer your question about my desire for it, I think it's just that. Like, I want it to reach the masses. Um, a component that I'm working on right now with Untroubled Mama is a domestic violence awareness training program. Because I noticed, like, so I'm an HR professional, right? Like, I'm an HR manager at my job. And even for me, I realized, like, there's not a lot of resources for domestic violence victims when in the workplace. Like, we show up for the LGBTQ community, we support them, we rally around them, and so they're able to speak their truth in the workplace. That's not the case for domestic violence victims. It's this taboo topic that doesn't get talked about, and I want to shift that narrative because we need to talk about it. Like, I need to know when my coworkers are going through something. I want to know how I can best support my coworkers when they're going through something. But if we don't talk about it, if we don't shed light, then no one is going to know what to do. So when I come to work and I seem a little off, people don't know what to say to me. They don't know what to do. If I come to work with a black eye, they have no idea what to do.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. I want us to really shine light on it so that, because I know it's never going to end. As much as I would love to say that it's going to, it's not. The domestic violence is not going anywhere. But the more people that talk about it, the more light we shed to it, it may, decrease a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's what I want. I want to speak to employers to let them know what their responsibility is as an organization, as a company. Really, Israel?
He said, "Hey, mama, you're doing good."
Oh my gosh. That's what I want. And the same thing for schools, right? Like, my children, especially Journey, was in the middle of a domestic violence situation, and Journey still went to school every day. I still went to work every day. And no one knew what my daughter was experiencing. So maybe her, her attitude was a little off that day. They may not have realized that Journey just had to witness her mother get cursed out. Like, how does that alter how she shows up at school? And the same for me as an adult. I could have literally, like, there were moments when I was on a call for work, had to quickly shut my camera and my video off. So this is recently, because I was being cursed out in the middle of a meeting. And I turned my camera back on as if nothing ever happened, because I didn't feel like my job was a safe space where I could say what I was going through. And I just want to change that because it's not okay.
It's like you hear people's story, you become speechless. Like, yo, wow,
So
like, that's powerful. And what you said is so needed, because being an educator, when I was in the schools, like, you could tell when you notice when your coworkers are off or when children are off, but
Mhm.
you didn't know. And you're
Right.
right, it was not domestic violence is not something that you don't see a lot of support systems around it in the work.
Mhm.
So what you have is, I mean, when I say it's beyond needed, oh
Yeah.
gosh, like
And honestly, Simone, I feel like because there are programs out there, right? Don't get me wrong, they're not me, but there are programs out there. Either from a clinical perspective or an academic,
yeah.
perspective.
Hmm.
These people probably ain't never been hit, cursed out, or nothing a day in their life. So for me, I'm coming from a place of realness.
Yeah.
I'm like that's me. So the first step is to just create that focus group of women, and just get around the table and just talk about like what is it that would have been needed for you
Yeah.
when you were going through domestic violence from your employer. What would have been important to you? Because we don't talk about it.
Yeah, I told you Untroubled Mama was professional. You hear all that coming out of her, right? I love, oh,
I am an HR professional. I've been it for 17, 18 years. I love it. I love it because I'm a people person,
yeah.
right? So I love, and I'm a helper, right? I really want to help people. And so that's my way of doing that is to help people through human resources.
I love all of this. Oh God. So two more questions I have for you, but this question, in addition to something that you said earlier, that it made
Mhm,
me think about this, and I wrote it down. So you remember how you said like with Journey, like if you knew that you would have become a single mama, that's not what you signed up for.
mhm,
So what could you say to somebody who is in that same situation? They was in a relationship, they was married, or maybe they was not married, but they was with their partner, the child's
mhm.
parent, and now they have to raise this child alone, and they feeling like, man, like what could you say, or what anything to kind of lift them so they don't feel like they are a failure, or I missed it and I
Mhm,
thought we were gonna beat it. Like I legit, Latrice, I have one friend, she has 4 children. On her the
mhm,
day she had her last son,
mhm.
the husband left out the hospital room, and that was the end of that. So now she's been a single mama for years. I have another sister, she has 7 children legit, and she
Ooh.
adopted her
Mhm,
her little niece. She has 8 children, and
mhm.
she's doing that by herself. Of course, she has, but it's like, so what can you say? And it could just be one child, but what can you say to those moms that's like, yo, I ain't signed up for this?
I think that life will give you some curveballs, right? And we, like I said, have the ability to determine how it's going to affect us. So I would say if I could give any advice to a single mom would be to remind them that God's got you, right? I turn it back to my relationship with God. I would not be the mama that I am if I didn't have that relationship with God, right? I just wouldn't be that. So I would tell any single mama, relinquish your burdens, turn them over to God, let him know what it is that you need. Pray, pray, and pray, right? Like he will answer your prayers. And the reality is God will give you what you need when he feels like you're ready for it. So, one second, my computer is dying. So that's
Oh,
not here. Okay, that's not, okay. There we go. I'm sorry.
I know
So he will, give you what you need when you're ready. So the financial security that you're looking for, if you're out here spending money frivolously, not being responsible, God is not going to bless you, sis, with any additional money because you haven't shown that you are responsible with it.
yeah.
You say you want love, you want companionship, you want this, but you just out here sleeping with everybody, just being reckless, not you know what I mean, like not loving yourself.
Mhm.
He's not going to bless you with that companion. He's not, it's just not going to happen. So for me, I would say show up the way that you really need to, and then God will give you everything that you need. Just focus on him and building that relationship with him. Focus on your children and don't worry about what you're lacking because ultimately he's going to provide everything that you need. It may not seem like it in that moment, but you do. Like for me, I love luxury cars, right? Like it's just my thing. I've always driven a luxury car and I've had to have a really humbling experience, right? I don't drive a luxury car anymore. And
Mhm.
that really has bothered me for some time.
Mhm.
But then I realized I got to focus on the good. It was pouring down raining the other day, Seminary, and I was reminded that I have a car, right? Like it may not be what I want for myself,
Yeah.
but I at least have a car to get my kids around.
Mm-hmm.
I want this like huge house with this white picket fence, this little Pomeranian, Yorkie, little dog that I can carry in a purse. I'm just being honest.
I love it.
That's what I want, right? I want my kids to have a playroom, but instead I'm in this 2-bedroom and a den apartment with 4-wheelers in my living room. I want, but I at least have a roof over my children's head, right? And I think sometimes as mothers, we focus on what we don't have and we don't pay enough attention to what we do have. And for me, that's the bare necessities because my kids don't need all that extra stuff. They not worried about it. My kids are happy. You see my kids, they are happy. They jumping and laughing and they play with the same McDonald's toys over and over again.
Yeah.
So here I am stressing, causing just undue stress. It's unnecessary when my kids are living their best life with the bare minimum. So why do I keep beating myself up? God will bless me with what I need when he feels the time is right. And for me right now, a car is not it. A house is not it. But my kids are healthy. I'm out of a toxic situation. That's what's important. So I urge all single mothers to focus on your children, focus on what's important, and continue to ask God to work on that relationship with the other parent, right? If that's what you want. Me and Journey's other mother are like the best of friends, right now. We can talk about any and everything. We make people say we make co-parenting look easy, but it's taking work. Society has told us that y'all can't get along. Y'all aren't supposed to be doing this. And that's not true. So make the focus about your children and everything else will fall into place.
Guys, I don't know if y'all you can't tell that this is her first time sharing she is a pro, JeTrice. You think
so? Oh, my daughter's best friend said I'm speaking beautiful words. Thank you. Yeah, I love you.
That you are oh my God, it's just flowing, and I love it because it's your story. You know what I'm saying?
It's my truth.
You can't you know what I'm saying? When you ain't gotta fabricate something, it just comes out. And so listen, the next show, now we won't talk about this tonight, but the next time, and just let me know when you're available to come back. Because guys, she is definitely coming back. But to talk about, I definitely would love to know more about that co-parenting piece with your ex, and how did y'all remain friends? Because one of my exes, we're really cool, right? And we're really cool because it ain't, you know what I'm saying, ain't nothing like that no more. We've been, that's just over with, right? But there's one ex that I desire to have a friendship with, but it just don't ever work out. I said don't ever work out. It just
don't work out.
And it's I wanted to work out. So it's I would love to know what steps y'all put in place to get to where you guys are now. Because I think that's so good, especially and this is not just with two women or anything, but anybody who has a co-parenting situation, helping people navigate how can you co-parent with some, even if they've started another relationship or you in another relationship.
She has. And the funny thing is that took us a while too. She's been in that relationship. Text me, Tweety, if you're still on the interview, but she was in that relationship for a really, really long time before I had even met her significant other. I mean, it was years before we met because society told us that we couldn't, that wasn't going to work. I think her significant other was uncomfortable with the nature of our relationship. Why do y'all talk so much? What do you what are y'all doing? I think and so I get it, right? Because that's what society tells you. And it wasn't until we had a situation with Journey. Journey was blatantly disrespectful. Told her, "You're not my mommy." And I said, "Oh no, we can't do that." At the end of the day, you still have to show up and respect her, right? Because she lives at the other house and she's who mom is dating. You have to respect her. And I said, we need to show Journey that we are a united front. That's what Journey needs to see. If Journey sees that mommy respects her and she sees that she respects mommy, that's a safe space for Journey. And she can let her guard down. And once we did that, we've been cool. We have a group text. I called her, that's my baby mama. At Journey's book signing and, took photos together because I want my daughter to see that this is normal. You have a village of people that love you. And although me and mom didn't work out, you have a bonus mom, is what we call her. She's your bonus mom.
Mhm.
And I couldn't ask for a better person that if I died today or tomorrow, definitely my mama would probably get the kids. But
Yeah.
I would trust my ex-wife and her new partner to raise Journey, and I know that they would do a phenomenal job.
Wow. That is something to say, yo. You hear me? Oh, that is dope. Listen, so guys, listen. She's listen. We
Yes,
definitely got to
ma'am.
do a part two. This was so good. So guys, listen. You know she can bring it from the HR perspective, the domestic violence perspective, the untroubled mama perspective. So
Yes.
if you're looking to hire her, book her, get her come on your show, do a live with you in person. I'm not sure if you accept in-person events.
No, I'm accepting in person. You know what? I'm going into a seminar and I'm saying that God is wrapping me with protection. I'm good. I'm okay.
Amen. So guys, listen. If you want to reach out to her, she's about to tell you how you can contact to speak with her, to share her work, to collaborate. The focus group she talked about. So if you
Mhm.
are indeed a troubled mama, reach out to her. And it's not because I have a lot of older women.
Mhm.
Older women love me, and I love them. So a lot of my people that watch are older women. So even if
Mhm.
you're an older woman,
Yep.
and we still young, we're younger women. So even if you're older, I think she has a lot to offer and a lot to give you. So please, definitely reach out to her. So JeTrice,
Mhm.
tell us how people can contact you, get in contact with you, where they can find you at on social media, all those good things.
So right now I'm only on Instagram because y'all, that's all that I can handle right now. My mental capacity will not allow me to do TikToks, Snapchat, Twitter. I just can't do it. So I'm on Instagram at Untroubled Mama, and it's Mama MAMA. So I'm going to make that correction. And then you can email me at untroubledmama@gmail.com. And I am working on a website, so I will make sure to let you know when that's up and live.
Okay, so the email is
Troubled Mama, MAMA, @gmail.com.
okay. Email
Mhm.
untroubled
Yep.
at gmail. All right. So guys, is this right, JeTrice?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so that's the email, and then you said this was IG, right? Untroubled
Yep.
Mama.
Untroubled Mama. Yep.
All right, so we got Instagram. Go on the Instagram and follow her, right? And then email her at untroubledmama@gmail.com if you want to
Amen.
get in contact with her, because indeed she has a story, she has a message, and she has resources that's going to change the trajectory of workplace domestic violence and how people show up, along with being a parent, co-parenting, and untroubled mama. So just this has been, man, this has been an absolute blessing tonight. It's so bomb. So thankful that I met your mom and had the opportunity to now meet you, and
Yes,
uh,
thank you.
in the future be able to meet your babies. And so you are welcome back anytime. Just let me know when
Thank
we
you.
can do it.
I appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you. This has been bomb. And so I'll let you close out. Any last closing words you want to share with everybody? Again, for those of you who tuned in, whether you tune in from JeTrice's page or from me sharing it out, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm gonna definitely fix the comments, and next time we come back, the comments gonna be open. It's gonna be on and popping. So thank you
Okay.
guys so much for tuning in tonight. So JeTrice, I'll let you say the last part in words.
Yep. So I just want to close out again, just reminding everybody that you are not what you are going through, or you are not what you have gone through, right? Like that is not the case. Do not let anybody tell you differently. You have the ability to show up as the beautiful warrior queen that you are, right? So do not let what you've gone through dictate how you show up as a mother, as a friend, as a sister, in any of those things, as a professional, right? Like you are in control of how we show up. And I just want to make sure that no untroubled mama is giving the enemy that much credit. He's not getting it from us. Like it's not happening. So definitely follow me along on this journey. That's so funny I say that because that's my daughter's name.
I know that's what
Follow me along my journey with Journey, Israel, and Messiah, who are my three little ones. And let's just create this brand, this community of untroubled mamas, because I'm not the only one out there. I know about 4 or 5 of them on the call supporting me today. And I just want to make sure that this gets out to the masses because I think that it's really needed in today's society. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I love you. I love you. I love you. And thank you so much for the support, because I was nervous, child. Nervous. Woo, I can breathe. I can breathe. Oh, y'all like my shirt? It says Untroubled Mama. Y'all like my shirt?
JeTrice, where can they get an Untroubled Mama shirt from?
Oh, I was hoping you wasn't gonna ask me that. So I only have one right now. I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna work on that. So yeah, yes, I'm working on some merchandise stuff. So I'm gonna get back to you on that one. But if you want one, just message me, let me know, and I can work with the lady that made it to make sure that we can get you on.
All right, so guys, listen, you got an email. Let me put this email back up here, right? So now for the focus group, t-shirt, all that, untroubledmama@gmail.com. So listen, another applause, because this was so bomb. Like, this was bomb. So guys, listen, good night to all you moms, those of you that's past your bedtime, like, man, I need to be in this bed. But thank y'all for rocking with us tonight. This has indeed been a blessing. So JeTrice, listen, I look forward to the next time that we can sit down and have another conversation. Thank you.
Okay, definitely.
Miss Michelle, and to all of you, to your beautiful children, all your friends, the support system. Thank you guys for the support system. Thank you for my support system that's coming on. So guys, we will see you on the next episode of Speak Life. If you're not following this YouTube page, subscribe to this. Is the only place that I'm at right now. So guys, subscribe, because you're gonna get more amazing guests up here like JeTrice, and then you don't want to miss it when she comes back. So we'll see. Yep, coming back. So until the next time, guys, have an amazing night, and we'll see you later. God bless you guys.
All right, bye.
Bye.